Hello and welcome to Real Food and Real Gum Flaps, the podcast. I'm Lace Flowers, I'm your host, and today we're going to be cooking a really random dish because it perfectly fits with how random this podcast is in terms of how it came to be. So today I'm making a tandoori masala with a golden rice and probably some salad, whatever I can find in the fridge, because it's a random kind of day. So we're going to prepare that, and I've got my little helper here, my little sous chef, who's going to be giving me a hand. You're going to wave and say hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Here you go.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So let me tell you why I've created Real Food and Real Flaps.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to, quite honestly. A few weeks ago, I had this idea.
Yep.
I've been writing a book, my very first narrative cookbook, my first solo book called Nourish to Lead. And I was like, should I start a podcast? And then I was like, nah, that is long. That is just extra work. And then a couple of things happened actually. Yesterday, what happened? I don't even remember what happened. Yesterday I was speaking to a friend. We're just wrapping up a podcast and PR tour for the Flavour Room, which I'm co-founder of. And my friend said to me, do you know what? I could listen to you talk for hours, especially about the stories on your life. And I was like, wow. It's essentially what my book is about. It's about my food story. It's about my family. It's a memoir of food that began in the UK, growing up as a British Jamaican black woman with a Jamaican family who's never known her white family. And it takes you on that journey from growing up on a West London council estate all the way through, my teenage times, and then what happened to me during my life, car crashes, near fatal accidents, all kind of madness. And then we go across 4 different countries as I cook my way across Central and South America. So I thought, you know what? I could talk about this in the podcast. I could talk about this all day. And I think it will be fun. I think it's a great outlet because I like to talk as I'm cooking. I love to share food with family, with friends, with neighbours, with security guards, with the homeless people around here, with anybody. Anybody who's hungry and wants some food, I'm happy to share it with them. So that's essentially why I made it. And I thought, you know what, this is going to be a great way to promote Nourish to Lead, my narrative cookbook, because all of the stories that you're going to hear on this podcast are going to be in the book, along with all my lovely recipes, right? So I figured this kind of made sense. So here we are. Here we are doing, oh, I don't need that, I need my bowl. Where's my seasoning bowl?
Mommy, have fun.
Seasoning bowl. If you don't have a seasoning bowl, you need one.
Yeah.
Because do you want to put that in there?
Yeah, a bit more. Perfect temperature though. So you're gonna cut that up?
Do you know what? I'm going to keep the skin on so it goes crispy. Yeah, I'm going to keep the skin on. Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, I decided to go for it, make a podcast. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, real food, real gum flaps. That's just gonna stick. So that's what I decided to call it. The premise of the podcast is basically I'm gonna be cooking a real meal in a real kitchen, real food from scratch. I'm gonna tell you stories about my life. I'm going to tell you all the stories about my life. Some of them are very difficult, but I've always found humour in everything that I've been through. So you can actually laugh. You can laugh at it. I mean, I laugh at it. So I'm looking forward to telling you those stories. And what I've found is that, life stories connect to bigger stories. They connect to business, they connect to leadership, and they just connect somehow to everything. So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you. It's just me being human, to be honest. And I'm really struggling at the moment because I'm feeling like, oh, I'm under pressure. But I know I'm going to get used to it and it's going to be okay. So, yeah. You know, it's going to be hard at times. It's going to be funny at times. But what it's always going to be is honest. And it's always going to have food. Because me and food in my kitchen is my favourite place to be. I'm absolutely obsessed with food. I love being in here. I love being in any kitchen. I mean, some are more difficult to be in than others, and there's stories about that too. But I love kitchens and cooking. So what's coming up? I'm going to be telling you about my grandma's British breakfast with a Jamaican twist from my childhood that always brings back such great memories. I'm going to be telling you about my student kitchen in the north of England, and being the only one of 2 black people in the village. I'm going to tell you about the phone calls I used to have with my grandmother especially, and my mum, who is a chef for 40 years, when I got to university and wanted to recreate the food I'd seen at home, and I was like, I think I need a little bit of help. So those phone calls were always fun, being taught how to cook on the telephone. And I'm going to tell you about the time when I lived in a caravan. Yes, I lived in a caravan and awning with a wood burning stove in the awning. Yes, I know it sounds like a fire hazard, it probably was, but we had it put in properly with a backboard and stuff. But I'm going to tell you about that and the time that we ran a Jamaican food business from the caravan, 2 gas burners in the awning and the caravan oven, and we used to turn out 40 meals every single Sunday and we would always sell out. So I'm going to tell you the story of that. I'm going to tell you the story of cereal and nothing, the time when I was severely depressed and I lived on cereal or nothing, and how that affected my performance, my ability to think, and what it taught me. Because I didn't just wake up one day and decide, you know what, I'm going to eat cereal and nothing. No, there's a whole backstory to that. Yes, you can yeah, go for it. And that's essentially what's inside of Nourish to Lead, which is the narrative cookbook I've been telling you about. So it's being written now. The first draft is ready to go, which I'm super proud of. It was so much fun to write, honestly. And it's in the editing stage. Now I did all the recipes before I edit, mind you. But the first chapter of Nourish to Lead is available now on my website, empire.kitchen, www, obviously, empire.kitchen, and you can download the first chapter and read it for free. And then you can come back here and suck up some of the stories I'm going to tell you. And then when the book is ready for launch and release, I will be letting you know. But in the meantime, we are going to be in my little Colombian kitchen with real food, real stories, and real gum flaps. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you get all of those good notifications and you know when the first episode is live and that you don't miss anything. In the meantime, head over to my website and grab that first chapter. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Ciao!